So you've just discovered that you have wavy curly hair, but you are wildly overwhelmed and have no idea where to start, how to get going on the right foot. Basically, it's all too much. I'm here for you. Hey there guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking all about where to start this whole process of embracing your waves and curls. It can be so daunting and overwhelming, and honestly, a lot of people start the process expecting magnificent results, faster routines, healthier hair overnight, and then get super discouraged when their hair looks like this. This is what my hair looks like after an entire month of dedicated research, plopping, scrunching, diffusing, trying all the different products, trying all the different techniques. It still looked like this, and this is not cute by most standards. Specifically my standards, I didn't think this was cute. So today I'm going to share my tips and tricks, my hacks, if you will, on how to build a really good starter beginner curly hair routine that's going to eliminate a lot of the mistakes that I made in the beginning and get you really going on the right foot so that you have the best chance to learn what your hair likes, what works best for you, and to get the absolute best out of your waves and curls. What I will not be doing in this video is giving specific product recommendations. But before you click out of the video, before your little head explodes, make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell. Why? Because we have been doing a series here on this channel for over a year called One Brand Wash Days, wherein we compare side by side by side by side, and I give you detailed information about how each of these products performs and who I think they would work best for. So while I may not be telling you to run out and buy a specific shampoo today, I do my very best to give you as much information as the consumer about how to pick the right products for you. What this video is going to be is showing you how I organize in my brain which products I grab when I wash my hair, how I go about testing out different application techniques and styling methods on my hair to figure out what works best for me. This is the training wheels that you put on your curly hair bike while you're learning what works best for your hair. Here is my secret sauce. I break wash days down into two categories. One, clarify and deep condition wash days. These are special wash days that are used rather infrequently. And two, regular wash days, which are the standard curly girl wash day routine that I do 2 to 3 times per week. Yes, I said it. I wash my hair every 2 to 3 days. No, I do not go 1 week entirely without washing my hair. I have tried. I have done all the tips, all the tricks, all the hacks to train my scalp to somehow be less greasy. And guess what? None of them have worked because oil production is directly related to your hormones, and just how oily greasy you are based on genetics. So if you are a particularly oily person, there's really not much you can do to train your scalp to produce less oil. If you try and extend your wash days too far, you actually can set yourself up for a situation where you create a lot of inflammation. Skin conditions can occur if you're not cleansing your scalp frequently enough. Trust me, I've been there, I've tried, and I've watched it happen to people over and over and over again. So yes, I use my regular curly girl wash day routine 2 to 3 times a week. The clarify and deep condition routine is saved for once to twice per month. Also, product recommendations for clarifying and deep conditioning, I've got you set up. My most recent recommendations for the best products in this category are on my YouTube channel. They're right there. Now that we understand the wash day types, let's talk about my favorite secret sauce in organizing a wash day, and that is product bucket categories. This is the simplest visual explanation that I use in my brain to help me organize my wash days. I have a cleanser bucket. I have a rinse out conditioner bucket. I have a leave-in conditioning product bucket, and I have a styler bucket. And I will put one product in each of these buckets, and that is my wash day lineup. If I'm clarifying and deep conditioning, I will put a clarifier in the cleanser bucket. I will put a deep conditioner in the rinse out conditioner bucket. I will put a leave-in conditioner or a curl cream in the leave-in conditioning bucket, because curl creams in my mind are a leave-on product that is conditioning. So is leave-in conditioner. And usually I will put a gel in the styler bucket. If it's a regular wash day routine, what I like to do is put a gentle sort of low poo in the cleanser bucket. What is a low poo? I'm so glad you asked. A low poo is short for a low foaming shampoo product. What this typically means is it's a product labeled as a shampoo that is sulfate, silicone, and drying alcohol free. They tend to be more gentle than the clarifying shampoos, but they still foam, suds, and lather. Then we need a regular rinse out conditioner, not necessarily a deep conditioner, but usually this is a conditioner that has specifically written in the instructions, rinse out. The reason the conditioners are labeled specifically from the manufacturer telling you to rinse it out is that the pH of that product is slightly acidic. And while it's amazing to put on your hair for the recommended time, usually 3 to 5 minutes, it is not good to leave this conditioner on. That acidic environment that it creates on the hair can kind of wear down that hair cuticle over time, causing some issues in the long run. Then you're gonna need a leave-in conditioner or a curl cream. Which one do you pick based on your hair type? I don't personally recommend putting both a curl cream and a leave-in conditioner in the leave-in conditioning bucket. And the reason is that it tends to be too much, especially when you are first learning how to wash and style your hair. There are a very few specific hair types that would benefit from using both, but as a general rule, most people just need one or the other. Leave-in conditioner tends to work best for people with finer hair, whereas people with coarser hair tend to like curl creams more. Curl creams have some super potent conditioning ingredients in them, along with some hold ingredients. So it can, in some cases, double as a styler, but it doesn't typically work best as just a styler. You can't necessarily like put a curl cream in your styler bucket after the leave-in conditioner bucket, because it'll be too much conditioning and not enough hold. I understand it sounds super appealing to just throw some curl cream in your hair. The idea of putting a gel in your hair can be pretty intimidating and daunting when you first start this process. We all know what that gel can look like. Crunchy, stringy curls. We'll talk about that in a minute. The curl creams are absolutely lovely, but relying on a curl cream solely as your styler when you first start this process because you're afraid of crunchy curls is not the way to go. Now you may be thinking to yourself, Courtney, you mentioned the one brand wash day videos and I've seen a few of those. You don't use a leave-in conditioner at all in those videos. What gives? You're telling me I've got to buy an extra product to use on my hair when you don't even do it yourself? Yes, I'm guilty. I am sorry. But I do have a good reason. Let me explain. When your hair is in the transition phase, your hair is more dry, more thirsty, and needs more tender loving care. Leave-in conditioner and curl cream add a layer of love and tender loving care to your hair that is crucial and critical when your hair is in this really damaged state. It gets incredibly persnickety because you are no longer using silicones as the band-aid to hide the hidden damage in your hair. And that transition phase is no fun for anyone. Your hair is the absolute most difficult to style during this period, and it's going to look its absolute worst. But once your hair has recovered completely, it becomes so much easier to manage, way less temperamental, and overall just a dream to do. Okay, we have talked plenty about the leave-on conditioning product, the leave-in conditioning product, leave-in, leave-on. Don't know what preposition I'm supposed to be using in that scenario. Will the English teachers please tell me in the comments? But now let's talk about stylers. Which product are you going to put in the styling bucket? Some people go a little crazy. I've been known to go a little crazy and put 3 or 4 different products in the styler bucket. Maybe let's not do that when we are first starting out. And the reason is I want you to be able to control the variables in your wash day routine so that you can isolate what's working and what's not. If you chuck 3 or 4 different stylers at your hair every single wash day, and you're doing those in slightly different amounts and you're applying them in slightly different ways, you're not gonna have any idea what was working and what wasn't. I'm going to recommend, if you are first starting out this process, to use one styler and that styler be a gel. As I alluded to earlier in the video, gel will be your absolute best friend. And yes, I understand you don't like the idea of the crunchy curls. What that crunch actually is that gel drying down around each of your curls and forming this beautiful thing called a gel cast. What this does is it allows the hydrogen bonds in your hair to fully set in that curl shape while the hair dries. It's basically just giving your hair a tender, loving hug, giving it moral support as it dries in its curl family. Once the hair is 100% dry, you can give your hair another scrunch, maybe even fluff those roots a bit, and that gel cast will break completely, and you'll be left with really soft, shiny, bouncy hair. Yes, I used a hair gel today, and no, my hair is not crunchy. It's just soft and shiny. Again, make sure you're subscribed so that you will see which products I used on this wash day. Just look for this shirt. I did not bother to switch my shirts in between batch filming these videos. Oh, the YouTuber things. There are a variety of different gels to try out there, but playing around with finding which gels you personally like, which ones give you the best hold, the best curl clumps, the best gel cast, can be one of the most fun things you can do. And that is how I organize my wash days. The clarifying deep conditioning wash day, the regular wash day routine. You do not necessarily have to put a product in each of these buckets. Sometimes a product fits in multiple buckets. For example, one of my favorite products of all time is the Curlsmith Multitasking Conditioner. It's a deep conditioner, it's a rinse out conditioner, and it's a leave-in conditioner, all in one. It has a place in multiple wash day buckets. As for how to figure out how to apply these products to your hair, how best to use them, I do have multiple videos on this channel showing exactly how I personally wash and style my hair. Yes, in most of those videos, I am washing and styling my hair upside down. While partly that is for filming purposes, it's also how I actually wash and style my hair. Well, okay, I take it back. I don't wash my hair upside down when I'm not filming. I do wash my hair like a normal person, AKA I wash my hair right side up and condition my hair right side up. But when I do move to the styling process, I actually do style my hair upside down every single time I do choose to style my hair, because it really allows me to see how the curl clumps are organized. I feel like I don't get product all over me when I'm upside down. It just kind of drips in front of me instead of onto me. So I really do style my hair upside down. Next, you need to figure out how best to dry your hair after you've applied stylers to it. And most curly girls enjoy this thing called plopping. Plopping tripped me up, guys. This traditional method of tying a towel onto your head and letting it sit for 20 minutes. Some people even let it sit overnight. Please do not sleep in the plop. I know there are people who do this all the time, but there are some pitfalls to this. Namely in that you are creating the absolute perfect environment on your scalp for mold and fungus to grow, and bacteria. Why? It's a warm, dark, moist environment. Please don't plop your hair all night long. You are welcome to plop your hair for 10 to 20 minutes, but please, you do not need to plop your hair for an hour. Anything past 30 minutes, you're not getting any more benefit from. I'm just telling you. Do not tie that towel on your head for forever. But what is actually most easy if you are first starting out this process is to micro plop. Basically, just grab your microfiber towel or your t-shirt and wring out the excess water. Just do a little scrunchy scrunch all over your head. Soak up as much water as you can and product out of your hair. Then I strongly recommend diffusing. I know you just started this process. Your hands are already tired and completely cramped from all the scrunching, but investing 10 to 15 minutes to diffuse your hair can actually exponentially benefit your results. I know you don't want to. I know you're tired. I know you do not feel like drying your hair at this point. You thought embracing your waves and curls would mean that you did less work and could just run around like a beachy mermaid after scrunching some gel into your hair and you'd be done. Sorry, no, you do need to dry it. Probably with just hover diffusing for the first little bit of your healthy hair journey. This will keep most of the curl families intact with minimally heat damaging your hair because the diffuser is not actually coming into contact with your hair. Also, this whole notion of like pixie diffusing, usually what it does is it just dries the ends, doesn't dry the roots, and you wind up with floofy ends and stringy roots. This is why hover diffusing is the best, because it basically just turns your standard hair dryer into a hood dryer. You may be saying to yourself, Courtney, I don't feel like investing in a hair dryer right now. I understand that. I'm telling you to buy products to put in 4 different wash day bucket categories, and now I'm telling you to go buy a hair dryer and a diffuser. Turns out that Walmart has quite the lovely hair dryer and diffuser that's very affordable. It's worth it. It helps a lot. You don't have to go spend hundreds of dollars on the most high-end hair dryer to get really good wavy curly wash day results. The last thing you need if you are embracing your waves and curls is a way to protect your hair when you sleep at night. You've done all this work. You've done all the washing and the styling. And then you're just going to go lay on a cotton pillowcase with your hair wild and free like a cave woman? No ma'am, we are not going to do that. Instead, the Curly Girl Pineapple will become your best friend. What is the Curly Girl Pineapple, you may ask? That is the Curly Girl Pineapple. Don't ask me why it's called a pineapple, but it is. It does not terribly stretch out the curls. It takes everything and piles it up nice and loosely on top of your head. I like using a silk lined scrunchie to put my hair up at night. You could use something like an Invisibobble, which look like those 90s keychains that are all spirally. And I will even give you bonus points after putting your hair up in a pineapple for sleeping on a silk pillowcase. Yes, it really does make a difference. Yes, it does sound super bougie. And yes, the Walmart does have some silk pillowcases for super cheap. So no excuses. It really does help. All right, guys, that is everything for how to start this process on the right foot. The last note I want to give you is to document your results. If you are cooking in the kitchen and you're just winging it, you're chucking a little bit of chicken in there and you're throwing in some tomatoes and a bunch of salt and seasonings and rice, and poof, you have made the most absolutely delicious meal you have ever created. It is absolute heaven in a bowl. But you didn't write down what you did, and you go back the next week to make that same recipe, and you're chucking chicken and tomatoes and rice and salt and seasonings, and then you eat it again and it tastes like garbage. It's because you didn't write down anything. You have to write down how long you cook the chicken, how much salt you're using. You get the idea. Curly girl wash day routines in the beginning are very similar to cooking, but you have to figure out the recipe for your hair. And the only way to diligently figure out what recipe works best for you is to write it down and take a picture of the results. Then, after you've done this over and over and over and over again, you will have a beautiful catalog of just your hair. It's also super fun because you'll be able to see visibly over time the health of your hair improve. And this is one of those things that really helps get you through the transition phase, because there are days you just want to quit. You want to throw in the Curly Girl microfiber towel, give up and say, where is my flat iron? That was way easier than this. And on those days, it's when you pull out your phone or wherever you keep your pictures and you see that a month ago, your hair looked 10 times worse than it does today, the day that you are the most frustrated, that gives you the boost that you need in order to keep pushing through because it is worth it in the end. Documenting what works and what doesn't really helps you to learn your hair 10 times faster than if you don't. And that's my 2 cents. How you document your results is totally up to you. I personally created a separate from my personal Instagram account, and I called it Wavy Curly Courtney, and I just started taking pictures and writing in the caption what I did. I know that this isn't for everyone. The idea of putting your face on the internet makes you want to run under a rock and hide. It did me when I first started, but when I started this process over 5 years ago, there wasn't a whole lot of apps for like taking a picture and writing notes under the picture. I think you can even do that in your photos now, just standard on most phones. It wasn't a thing 5 years ago, so I used Instagram, and there was actually a hidden benefit to that, me being slightly vulnerable and brave, and that is that I got to meet you guys. This incredible community of other curly girls on the internet came around me, gave me product recommendations, gave me the most loving tips and tricks, and I have made some true, genuine, real-life friends out of this process of embracing my waves and curls. So I personally liked the Instagram method. Not only did I get to document my hair and really learn what worked for me and what didn't and get super accurate wash day results, but I also got a whole lot of friends out of the deal too. I have rambled on long enough. I sure hope you are having an absolutely fantastic day, and I cannot wait to see you in the next video.